I think the beginnings are always small. They're always difficult, especially when you see the vision, you see the future of it. Again, that's just part of it. Part of it is that struggle. And you continue to try to find ways to make it happen, make enough money to push the program farther. The social part of it, gathering individuals who see your vision, willing to promote it. It's a slow process, especially when it's small time. I'm a small business. That is difficult. I mean, I've wrestled with the same thing. I have students, parents that have been gymnasts. They were gymnasts themselves. They were cheerleaders. And occasionally they're here in my facility and they'll want to argue about my techniques or discuss my techniques. And then I pull out my whiteboard, I have my TV, I have slow motion replay, and I'll show them the physics of it and the anatomy of the body. And even I said, tell them, I even tell them, like, I was taught your way as well. I remember I was there, but I focused. I got a lot smarter, started studying physics, anatomy with respect to, tumbling and gymnastics in general. And I discovered that there were more efficient, safer ways to do these skills, and I implemented them. And I haven't seen this much success. I've stopped injuries. I mean, or wrist injuries in the sport, or just out of the yin yang. Well, I don't have wrist injuries here because I've changed the angles and positions of certain skills. My parents just can't believe it. And the doctors can't believe it. I have doctors who went to certain clubs here in the city, orthopedics, okay, had their children at gyms, and they hear about me, they come over here, yeah, she's having these injuries, we're trying to strengthen her, da, da, da. It's like, oh, well, they're simply doing it wrong. I mean, I don't like to say that. It's like, well, the angle they're at is not the right angle to keep them safe. And they're like, what? That's all it took? So all this money going to the doctor, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon, this is all that coach needed to do was just change the angle of the arm. It's like, yeah, easy peasy. Why didn't they know that? It's like, well, I asked the same question. Why don't they know that?
Yeah.
It's because in my industry, there is no, I mean, I don't know about massage exactly, but with respect to gymnastics, there is no degree in gymnastics. There's no degree in tumbling.
Yeah.
You go out to some other countries, they do have degrees in things like that. But here, I'm autodidactic, respectfully. I mean, there's physics and anatomy, but otherwise, I put in the hours on learning about the human body, the anatomy, structure, levers, forces, momentums, and I applied it. But it shakes people up when I start talking like that, especially other gym coaches or gym owners or prospective ex gymnasts or cheerleaders. Just blows their mind. But
yeah,
I've been for so long, I just handle it as it comes, and
yeah.
I just keep following mine.
I was in excuse me, in gymnastics in high school. We would talk about getting forearm splints and pommel horse. Holy moly, dude! It's like pommel horse. Every time I see somebody on pommel horse, I'm like, I tried to do that. That shit is hard.
Yeah,
you got to be strong, man. And it's like, I have very small, delicate wrists, and I go to massage school, and they're trying to get me to use this to like put, pressure on stuff. So I'm working on somebody your size, which is probably about my size as well. And then I'm using this. Then I started training in Thai massage, and it was like, wow, I can use my legs and feet. Because the legs and feet are just, they're not, it's like, it doesn't matter how much you train your upper body, it's not going to be as strong as you can kick. It's a different part of the body. But that's beginning that flip where it's like, wait, we're massage therapists, we don't use our legs and feet. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, but we were taught in school. Like, in other words, well, this is the way we've always done it. And I go, yeah, I understand that, but could we change it to make it more effective for the therapists and better for the clients?
Right.
And they're like, but we were taught in school. And I'm like, oh, how do I, for me, my moves, people are going to steal it, right? I get excited because I hear people now where it's like they're starting to accept, are you ready for the transition in the massage industry? They're starting to accept that you could use a knee on a table.
Right.
And I go, oh, at least they're coming up my way a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't taught that in school. You never thought about it because you're being conditioned to like think about body and structure in a certain way. The mat-based work I was doing transitioned into the table work, and much like you being an autodidact, I continued to experiment getting feedback from the client. One of the things that I think is the hardest to teach isn't the bodywork and technique. The students don't understand why I communicate with clients the way I do.